So today we're going to talk about enough, being enough, and as an online coach, hey Grianne, so as an online coach where the internet is saturated with so many coaches, I am totally guilty of questioning if I am enough or not. Do I give enough to guide you? Do I come online enough? Are my free booklets enough to get you started? You know, are my online courses enough information to help, you know, get people to where they need to be? So first, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Claire Hughes, a life and relationship coach. And if you're new here and never seen me before, welcome, welcome. This is the Unstoppable Confidence Group. If you've seen me before, say hello. Let me know what you're up to. And if you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I can answer any questions. So when I first started out, I had a huge fear of going online. It's outside my comfort zone as an introvert. So I really had to push myself to get myself out there. I asked myself, am I good enough? Just missed the video. Oh, good. Yeah, glad you made it. So when I had to really push myself. I was an introvert. I really had to push myself through a lot of barriers to get myself where you see me now, because this is not where it feels comfortable for me, because I'm very much inside myself. So I had to put myself out there. When I was, you know, I'm not as young as a lot of other coaches out there. I didn't have as many years experience as others did. And there were many times in the beginning where I really got caught up in comparing myself to others and not feeling enough. In my marriage, I would compare myself to the women that I didn't even know who my husband slept with. Were they prettier? Were they more fun? Were they more interesting? Were they more sexual? There were all these things where I questioned myself, you know, what did he see in them that I didn't have? It was like, you know, always going back to, was I enough? I didn't ever want to be in a relationship again after that, because I felt like I was damaged goods and that no one was going to want a woman who had a son. You know, you go through all these crazy stories that you tell yourself. In my job, hey Melissa, in my job, I didn't get a raise for 6 months, even though I was contributing above and beyond, you know, and that made me question if I was enough. You know, I felt like I should be earning a certain amount when you know, after all my years of experience there, you know, why wasn't I being recognized for that? Was I enough? You know, as a parent, living check to check, I would see other families taking trips, going out to eat. You know, they have great homes, their refrigerators were full of food, their children had all the extras in life, where, you know, my children didn't. We have our own struggles, but I would always question, did I give them enough? Did I make them feel enough? Did I, you know, get through our struggles enough for them to not really realize that we had struggles? It's really easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves, questioning all that we are, all that we have, all that we want in our lives. And sometimes it's motivating to keep us going. You know, you see somebody that's doing what you want to do and you kind of want to follow them, and it gets you motivated and excited about things. But sometimes it can be destructive, because it keeps you in a place of never being happy with what you have and who you are and what you want to become. Hey, Rocio. We see some of these people online. The real life Barbie. Have you ever seen this woman? Have you guys really seen this woman? She is a real life Barbie. She's from like the Ukraine or Russia or something, and she has gone her whole life building herself through all kinds of surgeries to look just like the Barbie doll. And that leads back to, she wasn't feeling enough. She didn't feel appreciated of who they were and what they looked like, and they wanted to become somebody else. Hey Barry, you made it. So this woman who like, she wants to look like Barbie, so she went through these millions of dollars of surgeries to try to transform her face and her body. She had ribs removed, and it all leads back to her not feeling like she was enough, like she was worthy. You know, so I say it's healthy, it's fine if you want to, if you're looking at somebody as a constructive thing, like you want to follow them and it motivates you and it gets you excited to kind of, you know, model what they're doing. But it's another thing when you're taking it as a destructive act. It's not really helping you progress. And it's very easy to lose who we are, to live as ourselves, to appreciate all that we have. If we're constantly looking at others for validation, forgetting about the wonderful, unique things that we have in our life. And our inner critic can be really brutal. It can bring us to tears. It can, beat us to the point where we're hiding from the world, binge watching in New Amsterdam. We just don't want to go outside. Hey, Tisha, we just don't want to go outside because, we have these barriers where we're feeling like our inner critic is getting the worst of us because it's comparing us to other things, and we get really caught up in it. And we have to learn to catch ourselves when we have this self-depreciating thoughts. Self-love is an ongoing journey, and it's something that we have to work on every single day. You got to catch yourself in those moments where you're sitting there doubting everything about yourself, what you're doing, how you're feeling, and reassure yourself that, those self-depreciating thoughts are just bullshit, and stop telling yourselves them because, they're going to get in your way. They're going to create a barrier for what you really want in life. And when you do see others, and make sure that there are people who understand, and you're looking at people with compassion and not with judgment and jealousy, because we're all imperfect. We all have our struggles. We all have something inside us that we can improve. So, it's not fair really to judge yourself to other people, because we don't know what they've been through, what they've, how long it took them to get there. We don't know their real story. So it's not really giving ourselves a fair chance at life when we're so busy looking at other people, questioning if we are enough. And it's really hard, especially when you've been in a crappy relationship, because it really does break you down a lot. You start doubting all that you think and all that you feel, and when you come out of it, and women especially can be pretty brutal to themselves. So if you're constantly reminding yourself that you're not good enough, and then you're just going to head down this path of unhappiness. So why not be happy with the one thing that you can be sure of, and the one thing that you never really have to think about, and it's you being who you are and being authentic to who you are and all that you can put yourself out there to offer. And I was guilty of it myself, coming out as a coach. We're supposed to say things a certain way. We're supposed to dress a certain way. We're supposed to announce things a certain way. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to get on here and be me and put myself out there, and help people, because that's what I want to do. I don't, want to have to worry about all these like guidelines that somebody has decided we're supposed to follow. So when most of our day is spent doing things that we've always done, most of our day we go through this routine. We're thinking the same things that we've always thought. And really, it's important to teach ourselves new things and break out of the routines, because it changes your thinking. If you think about your day, you're probably doing a lot of the same stuff that you were doing yesterday, and it's because it's routine, it's familiar. So it's really important to step outside of that and change your routine, because it gets you thinking of new ways to do things, and you feel kind of good. Like, you ever do something that was kind of spontaneous, and you kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. Let's just go for it. And then you feel kind of good afterwards. And it's because you're like breaking out of the routine, and you're doing something that you really wanted to do, that you found it fun, and you're not caught up in what everybody else is thinking and feeling. And if you're constantly questioning if you're enough, how it's going to affect how you really feel. And it's not really healthy. It can be pretty discouraging when you're really getting in your own way of becoming who you need to be. And it's all about like really paying attention and focusing on you and becoming the better version of yourself. When your energy and your efforts are focused on you, you become a healthier and happier person. And I'm not talking about like walk around with your head so big that you can't get through the door. I'm just telling you it's an internal thing. It's an internal confidence to work on yourself internally, because you will become healthier and happier and feel better about who you are and what you're doing. And there's a lot more going on for you than not. So if you're focusing on the negative things that you don't have, your life path can be really difficult. So why not give yourself a chance and a benefit of the doubt to show off all that you have inside, because you really can't achieve anything. It really is all about your mind and what you decide and how much energy you're going to give everything. And when you're in a negative mindset, you stay angry and you're thinking of all that's gone wrong and you're full of shame and sadness and anxiety. And it's really hard to welcome love and trust and all that's exciting and happy into your life, because you're focusing on all that isn't there and all that did go wrong. So it's really important in your growth to focus on what you do have. When they say live with an attitude of gratitude, it's true, because you really do need to find this place inside you that's grateful. Even in the worst moments, there's something that you can be grateful for, and you can't be angry and feel bad about your life when you're feeling grateful for something that you do have in your life. And we have to learn to accept and appreciate where you are in life and make peace with the past, to embrace the past and work towards a better future, because things will become more rewarding when you feel more at peace. Life will have more joy in it. So self-loathing can really be a huge roadblock. Waiting for things to be perfect. I know I have a friend who everything needs to be perfect. Well, things aren't perfect, so stop waiting for it. You want to feel better. You're waiting to feel better. You're waiting for perfection. You want success, but really deep down, we're not feeling worthy of it. And so I've mentioned it before, you really have to get what you want and where your head is in alignment. So, you're going down this path and everything is making sense to you. Because if you want something, but you're feeling something differently and they're not lined up, like you want the success, but your mind is down here, then it's not going to work because you're not on the same path. So if we're constantly reminding ourselves of our fails, and we're not living up to our full potential, we're feeling worthless, I can't speak. It happens every time. We're comparing ourselves to others. We never feel enough. You're really blocking yourself from all that you really could be, all that your life could become. And the best way to achieve self-love is to start by showing yourself love and learning to love yourself and learn to see all that you can offer the world. And it's easy. You can get caught up in others. And if people that are around you aren't supporting you and your journey, then they aren't the right people to be around. I tell my children this all the time. They always say, pick your friends, be careful who your friends are, and it's true. But I tell them that you can't let what other people think about you or feel about you affect how you think and feel about you, because at the end of the day, that person's going to walk away and you're still stuck with yourself. So if they've said something to you in that conversation and it made you feel bad about yourself, and then they walk away and you're still holding on to it, that just don't let it in your life. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. I always say lean back, let it walk past you. It's not important. Don't get wrapped up in it, because at the end of the day, they're going to be gone and you're going to be left with yourself, and you're the one that matters in your life. So the thing is, when you're working to achieve something and you have goals and you change behaviors and you're willing to put yourself out there to accomplish these things, it really does help build your confidence and your self-esteem and your self-worth. So we can't take in what other people are saying. If they're being helpful, then that's fine. But if it's something negative, just let it go right past, lean back, and let it go right past you, and don't take it in. Because if you're taking it in, then you are letting what they've said determine who you are and how you feel. You ever have something like that? I used to work with a girl, everything was drama. You walk in the door, the minute she walked in the door, it was, I'm like, oh God, I can't be around this girl. She drives me crazy. She's just miserable all the time, complaining all the time. She's just not a good person to be around, because she's so unhappy with her life that she doesn't want anybody else to be happy with their life. So if they're not able to see what you're up to and willing to support you, then they are not the right person to have around you. And you have to learn to see your accomplishments. A lot of the time we see all the bad. That's the first thing that we notice is what we did wrong, but we have to learn to see our accomplishments and pat ourselves on our back when you feel like you've done something and you've tried. You've tried. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself some credit. A lot of people don't try. There are people out there, we see them on TV all the time, they're trying to lose weight and they just, they put themselves out there and they did it. But then there's some people that are at home and they haven't even tried yet. They haven't taken the first step. So see the progress that you are making and let go of the fear, let go of the anger, let go of the excuses and all that happened in your past. Forgive yourself for what happened, learn from it, grow from it, but don't stay in that space, and work on yourself, because the most important thing in your life comes from within. So you have to really give yourself a chance to be you and put yourself out there. And recognize that we all have our struggles. We all go through something in our life. We all have something inside that we can improve to show ourselves a little more love and trust. So you have to recognize what it is, know that you can handle whatever it is that you're going through. So